What's up, everybody? It's the digital. Start with this because, again, I want to remind you that the future is in digital assets. No matter what you're seeing, no matter what you're hearing, no matter what is happening, it's all a way to shake you out, to cause division within people, to make you question what you own. But regardless, like I said in the previous episode, that what you own is valuable. You own the protocol, and they want to shake the retail investor out. But you got to know what you hold. You got to know what you own. It's not easy, but it's important to know what you hold. Okay, so remember the future is the digital assets, and you can't stop the innovation. You can't. You can delay it, but it's gonna come one way or another. Now that's going to lead into my next point, and this is a clip by Digital Asset News, and this is actually a really, really good clip that I hope motivates you to keep on going.
And it never really comes to pass. So
there's always something to worry about. In the 50s, it was the Depression and nuclear war. The 50s was the best decade this century for the stock market, except for the 80s. Only slightly better. The 80s were only slightly better. People didn't expect a lot. We made it through. And the stock market was terrific. I remember when the money supply was growing too fast, they said we're going to have a depression. It was going too slow, we're going to have a depression. Remember the LDC debt? LDC debt, they were all going to go bankrupt and we're going to have a depression. Then the Mideast was going to the world. Remember that one? The Mideast was going to the world, and we're going to buy our bonds, and market crash, and we're going to have a depression. Then Japan was going to the world. Remember that one? Japan was going to have all the assets, and they weren't going to buy our bonds, and we're going to have a depression.
So doesn't that sound like something today? Don't you turn on the news or take a look at the headlines or even take a look in YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and every other different social media platform and just see nothing but negativity everywhere? It's all for clicks. It's all for sensationalism. It's all to get you to fear. And when all these different stories come out, that's why on this channel, I know some people say,
all right. And so, and it's very true. They perpetuate this constant cycle to scare you. Okay. But it's not to say that some of the stuff isn't true. No, that's not to say that. But it's something you got to think about. It's sometimes you got to just see the forest instead of just the trees. Just get a macro perspective. And we know that Goldman Sachs backed Circle goes live with currency linked stablecoin. We know that Circle has ties with XLM to run on their network. So it's just something you got to pay attention to. Keep your eyes open. Now, here is this article that I wanted to share, and I'll end with this. That Senate Democrats outline a $3.5 trillion anti-poverty climate plan. Now, one thing I know for certain is when the government says this is to prevent this, it makes it all the more likely that that is going to happen. And so that's why I'm pointing this out. Now we go to the article. It's an anti-poverty and climate plan that they want to approve this fall. Now, it's like in that video I just showed you, there's a lot of news that's happening. Now, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're going to have this depression, it's going to come, it's going to hit hard. But one thing that the reason why I'm showing you this is because it's proving to me that we're one step closer towards adoption of this technology, of the crypto space. Because when the moment comes where you have to pay the piper, you need a way to fix the system. And by creating an infrastructure plan that's trillions of dollars, you're exasperating the situation. You're adding more fuel to the fire. And with this, we know that just creating more money and giving it to people, it's not helping the situation. You're just delaying the inevitable. But when the inevitable comes, that's when you're going to need a solution. And yesterday I talked about lines of credit. If all these commercial banks stop their lines of credit, then who do people go to? And I showed that Ripple had created a line of credit for their customers where you can put in your fixed rate, you can use it immediately, and you can pay it off later. Okay? This to me here signals that if it's approved in this fall, we're that much closer to where this technology is going to be adopted. Now, when that happens, there could be a lot of things that may not be so pretty, but the fact that you're here and you own this asset gives you an advantage, a step on, those who may not be. But prepare yourself, have your own financial plan. But I hope this is something valuable to you guys. Okay? Hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe. Comment below. What are your thoughts? As always, I like hearing from you. Share this if you found it valuable. Let others learn something too about what's going on. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.